All right, guys, we are all about purpose today. Now, everybody in the self-development space wants to be like, oh, find your purpose. That's going to be your life's mission. And what is your why and all of these things. They're big fucking questions, guys. And if you're wondering, like, why do I always feel stuck? Why do I always feel like I can't make any progress on my purpose or my why? Well, the first reason is because it's huge. It is a massive question. And when you're talking about something that's defining your life, like, it's not gonna come overnight. It's not something that you can just sit there and force yourself to buy into. That's what creates disharmonious relationships with your job and your life, is because you're being forced to do something that your body, your soul, your heart doesn't even care to connect with. And so to sit there and think about purpose and think about how purpose can bring joy in your life while you can consistently actually live life, that is a big question, guys. So what do? How do we do this? Well, the first thing is stop trying to find your purpose. Yes, you heard me right. I'm all about finding purpose. You've probably heard me talk about it, but stop trying to find it. Sounds weird. Stop trying to find it. The more you go searching for it, the less likely you are to find it. Now, the reason I say this is because the fact that there's a different methodology here, and that methodology follows the fact of giving yourself small micro wins. If you can start giving yourself micro wins, then you're going to give yourself the ability to start to find progress in your life of things that make you happy. You're going to start to feel confident. Then you can start to connect with yourself more. When you find that by giving yourself micro wins throughout life, then you can start to cultivate whatever that purpose is supposed to be, because you're actually trying new things. You're giving yourself the ability to say, okay, here is progress. Here's a small win, a small accomplishment. There's a small accomplishment. Oh, I challenged myself. That's an accomplishment. And then you find things that really light you up. But you can't do it until you're connected here. And part of being connected here is being confident here. And so by actually executing small wins, you get confident here, you get confident with where you're going in life, you get confident with tomorrow, you get confident with next week, and then all of a sudden purpose can find its way in your life. You will start to see things that really just light you the fuck up. And when that happens, that changes the game. But remember, the whole thing behind this is you never went looking for it. You didn't have to go sit there, look behind every rock and tree and be like, where is this purpose? Oh my God, I need to force this. I'm 30 years old. I'm 35. I'm 40 years old. I have no purpose. No, guys, you don't have purpose most of the time because you've been looking for it the whole time. But when you start to slow down and give yourself small wins, you can start to find purpose because of the fact that you are giving yourself accomplishments every day, and you're starting to program your mind to be like, yeah, I am capable. I'm confident. I can achieve things. I can set my mind to something and I can work it out. I'm a solution-based person. You do all those things, and then you're like, yeah, I really feel confident that what I'm deciding to do for the rest of my life, or where I want to go with the rest of my life, what I want to focus my time and energy on, regardless of pass or fail, that is aligned with me. But it doesn't happen until we create small wins in our lives. When I first came out of the military, many of you guys may have heard this, maybe not. Part of my story is when I came out of the protection, actually, more or less, in 2013, I figured out that I lost purpose because there was something much bigger than me when I was in the military and I was doing protection. There was always this, right? This flag. This flag right here was always bigger than me, and the people that it represented was always bigger than me. But when I got out of that, I lost who I was because I was no longer fighting for this. And so when that happened, it took me about 6 months when I got out, and I was sitting behind my desk and I was on a computer and I was like, holy crap, I'm doing nothing. I'm literally doing nothing that promotes any type of goodness in this world. I'm not helping anybody. I'm not fighting for something bigger than me. I'm not representing something bigger than me. I'm just a cog in the wheel, in the shitty little government wheel of fucking nonsense and politicization, however you want to call it. Anyways, just a cog in the wheel in this fucking bullshit game that people are just fucking fighting over crumbs. I didn't serve a bigger purpose than me. or even me at that point, because I wasn't doing anything I liked. And so when I realized this, I was like, I need to find me, I need to get back to something. I need to give myself a small win. And so what I did was I stepped foot into bodybuilding. And I did that, and I prepped for 12 weeks and got on stage and did a show and everything, and felt great about myself. And I felt great because I pushed myself in something difficult, and I allowed myself to succeed. I gave myself a timeline, and I had an end goal, and I achieved that end goal, and I competed. And that was everything that I wanted to do. And that small win started to pile on smaller wins on top of it, which started to create massive change, which then put people in my life that gave me ideas and promoted me and supported me, and then eventually came out to my life's purpose, in which I am here standing in front of you doing YouTubes, doing Instagram, doing a podcast, all centralized around helping men. And so that would never have come unless I took the risk of, one, starting to create small wins in my life, the constant progress of small wins in my life, and I took the risk of doing something that was really scary to me. Speaking in front of, a camera, I mean, I've never had a problem with it, but when it came to doing it in social media, you start to think about, well, someone's going to criticize that, someone's going to criticize this. And then I got on that path, right? And then comparisonitis and imposter syndrome went down those paths. And so it wasn't easy to just step foot into this. It was very terrifying. So just because the fact that you make small wins and you start to find your purpose, just remember your purpose could be really, really hard, right? And that's a big thing. Your purpose could be incredibly difficult. And on the same token, those small wins are what give you the courage to step foot into something that's very scary. Because on the other side of all of this, even where you're at now, if you're you've been trying to look for your purpose, you haven't found it, even on the other side of that, your purpose isn't going to be easy. It shouldn't be easy. It should be difficult, because that's the journey that we get to be on. That's the challenges that we have in life. It's not going to get handed to you. Now, it's going to feel not like work because of the fact that it's something that you love. And when you put that time into it and you make that consistent progress, then you're going to end up creating the life of enjoyment. But it's not going to come without a price, and that price is going to be hard work. So the only way to get comfortable and confident with wanting to do that hard work day in and day out is to build the small wins. Guys, get those micro wins in. Get them in every day. Whether it's you write down one thing and that becomes your accomplishment for that day, your day does not end until that one accomplishment gets done, whether it's that or whether it's a list of things, 3 or 4 things. But give yourself these small wins. Maybe it's a weekly thing. You give yourself a weekly win, a weekly accomplishment that moves the needle or makes you, convert to a different level of who you are. Like giving yourself that ability to have these wins and to make sure that you're doing it in a way that's consistently stacking up in your favor. When it does that, then the courage comes in, and in that courage becomes the ability to really hammer down on what your purpose is and to actually follow through with it, because you will find no other great failure in your life than to put forward a purpose, to commit to it, and then to completely fall flat and not believe in yourself. because of the fact that you don't keep stacking up enough small wins to give you that momentum and to maintain that progress, right? And that is really the fuel for purpose. That's the fuel for big wins, is the small wins. Think about that as, the food to your engine when it comes to the purpose of life. It is the ability to continually stack up wins and to continually put in your corner the food that's going to sustain you through the months of difficulty, through the hibernation, right? Because the purpose is never going to be a short-term thing. It's never going to be a quick fix or an immediate turnaround. It's going to be something that takes time. So for all you guys out there that are lost on purpose, for every single one of you that's talked to me and been like, but where do I start, Johnny? Or how am I supposed to find my purpose? My kids are my purpose, so they're not your purpose. Any of that bullshit, all you guys that are out there, this is how you start to move in the direction that you want to be in. This is to move into the direction of who you are and who you want this life to be for, which is you. And then at the end of the day, when you can give that back to yourself, you can then give that to everybody else. You can actually be the man you say you are. You can actually be the man who's out there putting forward the efforts of saying that I can actually give to everybody else in my life because I finally fulfilled myself. So don't hide from who you truly are and start to develop small wins. Start to put those every day in your life as accomplishments, as pieces of daily activity. And then as you build that consistency, you'll start to really uncover things that you enjoy. And out of that, purpose is going to flourish. But it won't until you guys get there. So make sure that you're putting this down. Journal on it if you need to. Obviously, I recommend that, but journal on it if you need to, and continue to find that space of small wins. Continue to put yourself in a position of success other than failure. Because right now, if you're not stacking small wins and you're just going on this rudimentary Groundhog's Day and nothing in it is actually for you, then you're really not doing anything in your life that is going to progress you in a way that you're going to find happiness. You're not actually putting anything in your life that's serving the other people in your life because they're just seeing you in misery and repetition. They're not seeing you in creativity and happiness. So really, really got to start to shift this mindset, guys, and start to give yourself the small wins. All right, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all next time.